welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining. Today we're going to be talking about 5 tips that I recommend when traveling out of the country, whether that's for the first time or perhaps by yourself. This all comes from personal experience. This channel is heavily focused around travel, everyday lifestyle travel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Sophia. I'm 29 years old. I am located in sunny San Diego, California. I work full-time from home and I travel a lot. So click the subscribe button if you want to follow me in my journey, or click the like button if you want to see more videos with tips and tricks like this one. So let's get started. So the first tip that I have is to get your passport as soon as possible. I have been outside the country before, obviously. Well, I guess not obviously. I've been outside of the country before, and when I was traveling when I was younger, I was traveling mostly with my mom and my brother, where my mom would take care of all of the passport, all of the packing, everything was done for me. Thank you, Mom. But when I was traveling outside of the country by myself, I had no idea what to do. So I already had my passport. This was back in 2016. My best friend had asked me to go to Europe with her, and I was very hesitant about it because I had never traveled by myself without my family. So, you know, I was excited, but I was also really nervous. The first question I think I asked her was, is this gonna be a taken situation? And if you don't understand that reference, let me know and I'll be happy to explain that. Was Liam Neeson? Ugh, great movie. Anyways, so she asked me to go on this trip, had my passport, but about a week before we left, we were leaving the day after Thanksgiving in 2016. This was November, and a week before, so the following Friday, or the previous Friday, the company I was traveling with, Kentucky, let me know that my passport wouldn't be valid in Germany. And that was really confusing at first. I wasn't sure what that meant, and they said it was because of the validity. My passport was good until June, the 1st of June of 2017. Now, this is something to look into. If you're traveling, you already have your passport, check the expiration date, check where you're going. If they have any validity legalities, that's really important to look into, because if I tried to go to Germany with my passport that I had, because it was going to expire in 6 months, I would have not been able to get in the country. I wouldn't be able to leave the country. I would have got my passport taken away. You don't want to deal with any of that when you're in a different country, and let alone speak the same language. So in that case, I only had technically 3 days to figure this out. So if you go to any sort of passport agency, there's typically going to be a huge line. They say that the lines can take up to 6 hours. If you want to make an appointment, it's typically a couple months ahead of schedule. So get your passport right away. I had to get up super early in the morning by like 4 a.m. to hit the road. I was living in Santa Cruz at the time. I had to commute up to San Francisco, which was about 2 hours away, and sit for 6 hours before I purchased a passport that they could do in like 24 hours, which that's another thing, is that can be super expensive. I was lucky enough where it was only maybe $175, but people were telling me it was going to be like $400. It wasn't, so that's good. So I got that done. I had to drive up twice, one to put in the order and the second to go pick it up. After, I felt really great that I got it done, but I would have much preferred if I did that ahead of schedule. So look into that if you're going out of the country. My second tip is to start a packing list. So I have the, I guess issue with overpacking. I feel like that so many people overpack because you really don't know what you're gonna need. So if you start a packing list early on and you just start building off that, that's gonna alleviate that overpacking stress. When we went to Bali for 16 days, I packed 16 bikinis. Now, did I need 16 bikinis? No, I didn't. Did I learn my lesson? No. I went to the Philippines with 16 bikinis. I just went to, on my honeymoon. I think I brought 12 bikinis. Now, we were in Jamaica for about 16 to 17 days, and that was a step in the right direction, but I still think that I overpacked on the clothes. But with everything else, I am to the T. I am looking up exactly where I'm traveling to and what sort of things are going to be needed. A huge tip when I'm making a packing list, I go on Google, I type in the location I'm going to, the time of year, plus packing list, and like 5 links will pull up from Google that will show me a packing list of someone who pretty much laid out everything that you needed for that time frame, the amount of clothes, and mixing and matching. And it's perfect. It's helped me so much. So I recommend doing that. The third thing that I would definitely look into if you're going out of the country for either the first time or the first time by yourself, do your research. I've been on several trips where they have all the activities listed out of what we're gonna do, where we're gonna go, and I really liked that. Except when I didn't have the best time on a group travel trip, whether that be because the tour guide wasn't excellent service or they were going places that I didn't necessarily want to go to and I'd rather do something else. You want to do all of that research ahead of time because you will have that free time to go do what you want to do. If you go onto Instagram and you type in hashtag travel Cuba, that's what I'm following right now because we're going to Cuba next year. And it's going to start pulling into my feed all these different other Instagrammers that have been there and that have hashtagged that, travel Cuba or visit Cuba or Cuba travel, anything. You can do that anywhere. And you can just get into a rabbit hole and find these amazing spots that you didn't know about, and you can just put it on your list of whatever you want to do. It's super helpful when you're not part of a travel group. So it's our first time not going on a travel trip this coming December when we're going to Budapest, and I'm already looking at things that we didn't get to do the last time we were in Budapest. So that's helpful. You won't be wandering around too much, which, you know, always wander around. You're gonna find cool stuff no matter what, but it's always nice to have a list of things that maybe you wanted to look at or catch a gram pic. So my third tip kind of ties in with the second one, but my third tip is to pack light. Like I said, I have an issue with overpacking, and my husband is so good at saying, listen, all you need is, number one tip, your passport, and, well, I guess our last trip was for our wedding. He said, you just need a wedding dress. Passport, wedding dress, great. So when I say pack light because you're gonna be able to get everything you need probably in that destination, more than likely, especially clothes. If you run out of clothes, there's more than likely going to be cool clothes there that are part of the culture. So packing light also increases the amount of room that you have to bring stuff back, and you know, those the gifts for the family. Pack light, that's going to be super helpful down the road, especially when you're going from place to place. So if you're doing a European trip and you're going to all these different countries, you're gonna be more comfortable with less stuff that you're holding on to. So backpacks are great. Backpacks are amazing. Smaller suitcases, don't bring the huge crazy suitcase because you're gonna have to lug that around everywhere. So pack light, friends. So my fifth and final tip has to do with cash. What you want to think about is how you're traveling with your money. Now, I solicited help from my husband because he's really good with thinking about these sort of things. And the first thing that we would recommend doing is alerting all of your cards that you will be traveling and where you will be traveling. So just in case you need to use them while you are traveling, they would be aware that you're in that country and that you won't get declined and you won't have to do a call there because you don't know if you can actually make calls from there unless you set up your phone plan and blah, 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 blah. Multitude of reasons, alert your card. So when we went to Europe, my friend and I, we decided to just get cash in the country straight from the ATM. Because we were there for such a long time, we weren't sure what kind of cash we would need. We were also going to be in a travel group where most of the expenses should be paid for, minus maybe a couple dinners and a couple drinks. So we ended up waiting till we were there. We met friends and we were able to pretty much take turns taking cash out of the ATM. They do charge a pretty hefty fee when you do take cash out of foreign accounts, like they do if the bank is not your current bank holder. It's like a $7 to $8 charge. It can go up from there. So we would take turns. So I would take out, $200 and I would split it amongst all the friends, and then I wouldn't have to take money out again for the next 6 days. So it was saving everyone money, and we all kind of just spotted for each other, and it broke out pretty even by the end of the trip. The other thing that we have done that my husband and I recommend is going to a US bank, grabbing cash out there and exchanging it straight from the US, because you can get pretty, you can sometimes get taken advantage of when you're in a different country. They'll charge you more on the exchange rate, they'll charge a fee. You don't want to get screwed, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. So put advisories on your cards, take money out in the US, take more than what you think you need, and get it exchanged, take it. If you have any money left over, you can exchange it back in the US at the bank. That's what we recommend. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for some of you. If you have any questions at all, leave them in a comment down below. I'd love to answer them. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and I'll know to make more like this. Go ahead and subscribe, join the family. I'd really love it. And go and follow me on Instagram. I share a lot of stories. I, take pictures of all of our travel adventures, and I'd love to have you. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.